Child Neurology Foundation, providing information, education, research, and advocacy. The number of children affected with a neurological condition is increasing, affecting 1 out of every 4 children. For some families, this hits home.
Our family is pretty typical as far as the things that everybody likes to do. We love to do things like go to baseball games and playing the video games and going out for pizza.
So when we're in the van, we're very much like other families. I'm a mom that's relieved because I have all my children strapped in, and I have my coffee, and our van's a mess. Like there's French fries in the seats and probably ketchup in places I don't want to know about.
We're different from another family because we have to be more patient. We have all these extra tools that slows them down.
If you were nice enough and brave enough to say, "Hey, Labelles, come on over for dinner," that might stress us out as parents because we're thinking, does your house have stairs? Like we have to somehow get in the door and get to a kitchen table somewhere and then dish them up and cut food in appropriate sizes and then feed them, and then by the time we sit down to eat, everybody's done. So we're different in that way.
And a lot of families are like, oh, I get home from a late night or something and they just carry their sleeping kid and throw them in the bed and they're done. But for us, it's like, we still have to do medicine. Like Isaiah gets fed through a feeding tube, so we still have to hook that up. Natalie, are you ready for your medicine? We're tired too, but we got an extra probably 20 minutes to half hour worth of stuff that we have to do. So 3 out of our 4 children have CP, Nathan, Natalie, and Isaiah.
And then Jeremiah did have a bleed in his brain as well, but it's so small that it's not affecting him in any way.
Right now everybody's stable as far as the brain bleeds go, but there's always a chance that something could strike again. So they do regular MRIs and watch the brain to make sure that there's no issues with bleeding again.
Usually when parents seek the help of a child neurologist, they want to have the sense that you understand what their child is experiencing. I really like my job on multiple levels. I get to come to work every day. I sit down on the floor and play with kids. I think about things I like to think about. It's more humbling to work with pediatrics because you can't control the kids. Either you work with them or you don't. And so if you need a lot of control, you're just not going to be a good child neurologist. Ouch! Oftentimes we get to the scene after the damage has been done. We're faced with that situation a lot. I can't fix everything I see, and as a neurologist, sometimes we can fix very little. Sometimes our role changes to that of tour guide and grief counselor. I've seen so many people transform to celebrating who their kid is, and I think that's some of the most rewarding work you can do. Dude, where did you get these shoes? I've been looking for a pair just like this. Some of our patients require a team. There's a core of therapy that most people agree is beneficial. Those therapies are speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy. Some people do swim therapy. Some people do hippotherapy, horseback riding, which for certain populations seems to be quite beneficial.
Our treatment strategy is the horse. When the child is on the horse, they are getting 3-dimensional movement to their pelvis, the movement that your pelvis goes through when you're walking. Many children that we see, they may not have a lot of control over their lives. And suddenly that child has an opportunity to engage with a very large animal and be on the animal, be moving with the animal, be in some cases directing the movement of that animal. Very empowering experience.
The role of any therapy is to attempt to minimize the impact of the disability on the individual. In child neurology, the problem is complicated by the fact that there aren't very many child neurologists in the country. There hasn't been a substantial increase in the number of child neurologists over the last 30 years, and the population has grown. We really need more child neurologists. We serve a population that nobody else has the expertise to serve. Oftentimes patients have to wait months for an appointment. We really have to work harder to get people interested in the field of child neurology.
CNF works hard to support families like these, educating families and professionals and encouraging growth in the field of child neurology. We welcome your generous support.